Holy cow! At long last, Shoshi-kusama has some news. And it's massive. After an absence of 27 hours, whales have returned, bringing with them 2.7 trillion Shiba Inu. A glimmer of hope may have emerged when BlackRock reinvested millions. Tell me what's going on. Okay, I'll try to clarify. Important notice, it feels like the long-awaited kind of day finally arrived today. Shiba Inu's bleeding has finally subsided after what seemed like an eternity. And that's not all, it's actually increasing. It has been steadily increasing in value over the previous 24 hours, up about 3% from yesterday. Although that may not seem like a large amount, it represents a significant change given the recent difficulties. For days the charts showed nothing but a discouraging decline, and many began to lose faith, fearing that this may spell the end of Shiba Inu's run. The fact that Shoshi-kusama has been totally unnoticed has further added to the air of mystery around her. But things have turned around today. There seems to be a new surge of self-assurance permeating the neighborhood, and the vibe has changed. A sense of genuine anticipation has returned after a long absence. The bulls are reawakening, and the outlook is improving. Now we get to the wild phase. The whales are having a tremendous resurgence, and the community is regaining its faith in them. They aren't merely dabbling, they are creating a stir. The largest Shiba Inu owners are starting to stir again. It is seen in the on-chain transactions as well. Large transactions have increased dramatically in the past 24 hours, increasing by over 50% over the previous day. It's a huge change, and people are enthused about it. According to the numbers, these whales migrate at an astounding rate. Over the course of a single day, dozens of transactions included about 2.7 trillion Shiba Inu. Since this sort of thing hasn't happened for some time, the community is hoping that things are starting to change. This kind of dramatic increase in whale activity is not unheard of. It might be a sign that Shiba Inu's confidence is on the up again, which would be good news for the breed's recent downturn. Curiously, the price has already risen marginally due to all this activity. According to some experts, the ecosystem could use a stronger rise right now if ordinary holders started behaving like the whales. Please listen up. I realize this is really insane. Today there are some huge updates on Shoshi-kusama. This is not an exaggeration. The developer may even confirm it. Be sure to watch all the way to the conclusion of the video because I will provide more information later on. First things first though, this is quite crazy. The sale of Shiba Inus has ceased. I am astounded. A huge indication of strength is that things are finally changing after days of unrelenting sell-offs. Despite continuing to face some challenging technical patterns, Shiba Inu is exhibiting strong indications of a recovery. The bulls have finally entered the market after more than 7 days of relentless selling, and the price has risen sharply in the last day alone. Confidence is slowly making a comeback, and that is a huge matter. Key Shiba Inu measures indicate that a possible recovery is on the horizon. Despite the fact that the token is currently trapped in what traders refer to as a death cross. This negative signal typically indicates further problems. Trading volume has dropped, which means fewer individuals are making trades, which is the only thing holding it back right now. But let me tell you why this is important. A decrease in supply occurs when individuals cease selling. Furthermore, Shiba Inus may be preparing for a more robust push if demand begins to rise again, particularly in light of the involvement of whales. This change in attitude may provide the catalyst the ecosystem has been waiting for to reverse the trend and restart its upward trajectory. However, you may be asking, what is really going on? For some reason, the market is looking really bullish right now. To begin, Bitcoin is also making a similar trend. It fell to a low of about $80,000 yesterday, but it has since recovered and is trading around $80,000 again. The market as a whole follows Bitcoin's movements. Things get much more bizarre from here. Large organizations are seizing the opportunity and diving in headfirst. Not long ago, BlackRock made a huge move, purchasing over $50 million worth of Bitcoin. Even while other organizations are selling off their holdings, ARK Invest is taking the exact opposite approach. They recently obtained Bitcoin and several transactions totaling around $80 million through Coinbase. Nearly 500 Bitcoin and one transfer constituted one of their largest purchases, and another one was made immediately thereafter. The fact that ARK is putting all of its eggs in the Bitcoin ETF basket demonstrates their unwavering faith in the future of the market. For Shiba Inus, why is this important now? Shiba Inu values tend to rise in tandem with Bitcoin values, and if the current upward trend in value continues, Shiba Inu might surpass expectations that it might reach the elusive 1 cent price point. Although there is still a long way to go, things are looking up thanks to the return of whales, the easing of pressure, and the influx of large funds into the market. What's truly astounding is this. The Shiba Inu ACC is the subject of a recent and significant forecast made by an analyst. He claims that a major development is on the horizon, suggesting that now could be an excellent moment to stock up on other cryptocurrencies. Why? Because the Bitcoin season is coming to a close, and when that occurs, alternative cryptocurrencies often become the focus. If past events are any indication, Shiba Inu and other altcoins will experience a meteoric rise in value when altcoin season arrives. After a large run on Bitcoin, the market always begins to settle down, and investors start pouring money into smaller coins. When that happens, the action really heats up. There has been a pattern like this before. Altcoins surge immediately following Bitcoin's rally. The current climate is ideal for Shiba Inus, what with whales making moves, sell pressure easing, and institutions placing large bets on cryptocurrency. A huge influx of buyers might send Shiba Inu prices soaring if altcoin season truly begins. And after it starts to get traction, who can say? The possibility of reaching 1 cent may not be as remote as previously thought. Now comes the part you've all been waiting for, Shoshi Kusama's whereabouts. The Shiba Inu project's enigmatic leader. What's his deal? Today we were finally provided with some answers. Lucy, who is in charge of marketing for the Shiba Inu ecosystem, has recently intervened to set the record straight. Many are curious as to why Kusama has been rather silent as of late. For weeks he has been remarkably quiet on social media, beyond the occasional retweet. When he introduced updates to Shiba Swap in February, it was the last time he made a post himself. No news at all since then. People couldn't help but talk about this. Concerned citizens began to speculate, while naysayers wasted little time spreading false information. But the reality is, this lack of sound isn't coincidental. As far as Lucy is concerned, Kusama's disappearance is strategically placed, a remark he made earlier. Just because he isn't posting much on social media doesn't imply he isn't working. Actually, it's the polar opposite. According to Lucy, Kusama is quietly trying to raise the profile of Shiba Inu around the world in order to take it to the next level. If you've been keeping up with his career trajectory, you're aware that this isn't his first period of relative silence. He revealed last year that he had gone to the Middle East for business, and strangely enough, had met with his relatives during a comparable hiatus. Everything we know about Kusama points to the fact that he is constantly busy. Even though most others were relaxing over the holidays, he persisted in pushing Shiba Inu forward, often working non-stop. Even more so, he has mentioned how his work atmosphere is almost constant, completely devoted to ensuring that Shiba Inu becomes more useful and firmly establishes itself as one of the leading projects in the cryptocurrency market. So what's the big picture?